My sister let him watch YouTube videos all day, every day since he was a baby. His only source of entertainment is shorts and some guy he likes watching play Minecraft. I can't wait till we see this as the child abuse that it is. If any other activity was damaging a kid's brain in this way, then we'd be able to call CPS.
You got that right.
One of the most disturbing consequences of the digital age is the impact that it's having on young developing minds. Excessive tech use, excessive screen use, excessive internet time is clearly having a huge effect on children. And in this example that I'm going to look at today with you, we're going to look at a 7-year-old who unfortunately is suffering massive consequences in his education and basic development because of a massive reliance on dopamine from social media and the internet. He is only 7 and he's about to finish first grade, and he's going to have to repeat the year because he's learned absolutely nothing. He can't read, he can't do the simplest maths, he can't even tell you anything that happened during his class because he can't remember. So first thing is brain fog, a massive symptom of over-reliance on technology and content consumption on the internet, literally making your memory worse because you are solely reliant on cheap, easy, fast dopamine. Learning is best done when something that is difficult is overcome by yourself. And the issue with developing kids who grow up excessively using technology is that they don't learn that they need to learn things, right? They expect to be able to get cheap, easily accessible dopamine from scrolling through YouTube or TikTok. And then it's like, why would they bother putting the effort in if they can just get something at the tap of a button? My sister let him watch YouTube videos all day, every day since he was a baby. His only source of entertainment is shorts and some guy he likes watching play Minecraft. So again, this kid would rather watch people play Minecraft than actually play Minecraft himself. Because guess what? When I was addicted to the internet myself, I used to watch Minecraft videos when I was much younger. But again, it's that no effort mentality. It's just teaching kids to grow up and be able to access anything at the press of a button. What's the point in putting hard work in or effort into anything if I can just escape into my little pocket dimension that is my phone or my iPad and just watch Minecraft YouTubers and YouTube shorts all day and have fun doing that? There's no point trying to work out something or to get better at something when everything in life is just expected to be so accessible and easy. If you can't even be bothered to play a game, you'd rather watch someone play the game. I took him to the aquarium to watch the dolphin show, and he hated it because it was boring. He wanted me to give him my phone during the show. Just a clear hallmark sign of complete screen addiction. And it's really sad because this is like a 7-year-old kid, and I feel super bad for him because he's been brought up basically on the internet by YouTube. And now he's just in that world where that's the only thing that matters to him. And we'll get onto it later on, but it's clear that this kid probably has autism or some kind of cognitive impairment disability. That's not really the subject of this video. The subject of this is the internet usage, which I don't care what anyone says, growing up on the internet, being an iPad kid is going to negatively impact any kid's development, even if they have ADHD or autism. And in fact, it's probably going to make it worse, right? If you have autism, it's going to exacerbate how badly you suffer the consequences of being brought up watching a screen and being addicted to the internet. He can barely recognize letters. He can't string them together at all. He knows 1 + 1 is 2, but anything more than that, and we get crickets. He's already being made fun of in school. He throws violent tantrums every time we try to sit him down to do his homework. So this bit when she's talking about him having tantrums and being severely impaired with maths and symbols and numbers, that to me sounds like dyslexia or some kind of underlying mental cognitive disability perhaps. And I feel terrible for the kid. Obviously that's going to limit his ability to get a job and things in the future. But the constant reliance on social media and that escapism to get that easy, cheap, accessible dopamine, it will be frying his attention span and it's limiting his ability to learn how to put effort in to get things because you're teaching your brain to get things easily. Dopamine, videos, anything you want at the touch of a button. And that's not how you are supposed to go at life, right? Life is about trying and overcoming and learning and problem solving and getting better at things. That's why it's good when parents try and get their kids into sports like football or whatever it is, because yeah, it might just seem like a fun outdoor game, but your kids are like being taught how to improve themselves on a certain skill and then get better at the game so that it's more satisfying, they can win the game more often. And it's just the underlying lesson of self-development and upskilling yourself. That's basically what it all comes down to. And that is completely void in the attention economy. She finally cut down on his phone use, but not nearly enough. She gets defensive when I tell her she needs to remove it from him entirely. She says he's a child and needs to play too. I tell her that's not playing, but she says that's what he likes. Now let me just first say this, I am not blaming this mother at all. Let me just come out this straight away. I'm a 23-year-old lad. I don't have kids, so I don't know how difficult it is to raise children. I imagine it's incredibly difficult. So this video is not me saying that this kid has been brought up incorrectly or anything. I cannot pass judgment onto parents or how they raise their kids. This video is solely just about the impact of being addicted to the internet at a very young age while she's still developing. So with that out of the way, he needs to play too. Okay, so he's playing on his phone, he's watching YouTube shorts, he's watching brain rot content, he's watching Minecraft content. And it's interesting because you can look at a ton of studies on playing, and playing might seem like a waste of time, like playing games or playing on their phone. But actually playing with other kids, like how I used to when I was younger, I used to go out and meet my friends on the park and stuff. That is insanely important for like your social development and learning how humans interact. And I've noticed with a lot of guys who are a little bit younger than me, maybe like 18 or something like that, they seem to struggle significantly more with basic communication, and they almost come across as really shy and awkward. And I think it's because they were in that video game generation, or the generation of the internet, where it was really prevalent even when they were this age, and it's being brought up in this digital world. It's kind of socially impairing people because you miss out on that crucial stage where you would have spent time with other young kids. I would push to have him evaluated for any condition which might impact his participation in academics: intellectual disability, autism spectrum disorder, ADHD, developmental language disorder. So this is absolutely right. I think this is probably the first thing that needs to be looked at with this particular case is there any underlying mental cognitive issues? But one interesting thing is that ADHD particularly is something that can develop. And it's not necessarily something that you're born with. And I've talked about it on this channel before, but there is studies that have been released linking high internet usage with ADHD, but not as in that the ADHD is causing the high internet usage. It's that attention and the attention span is eroded away so much by high levels of social media scrolling and doom scrolling that it makes people's attention span so low that they have ADHD-like symptoms. So they basically develop a pseudo form of ADHD from the use of social media and the internet. I can't wait till we see this as the child abuse that it is. If any other activity was damaging a kid's brain in this way, then we'd be able to call CPS. Your sister clearly has her head in the sand about how this ends. A defiant and potentially violent teenager who may get into drug addiction or other risky thrill-seeking pursuits for dopamine. Frying neural circuits in this way absolutely primes the brain to develop addiction later in life. Gambling, porn, drugs, alcohol, video games, etc. Okay, again, I'm not a parent. I'm not going to pass any judgment onto the parent of this kid at all, because I don't think we can just go ahead and say this is child abuse outright. Listen, this could be a single mom, this could be a mom who's really struggling, and honestly, I feel bad. If a parent feels like they need to give their kid who may have autism and may lash out and have tantrums the iPad just to settle them down, then I can't really relate to that. I don't know. I've never been in that position, right? So I'm not going to comment on it. But what I will say is I do genuinely think, to avoid stuff like this, it would be great if in my lifetime the government or someone came in to just regulate social media with kids. And I think even just for like parents and everything, like obviously any aspiring parents watching this video, any young people like me who think about having kids in the next like 5-10 years, whatever it is, I would say that I would be way more strict on my kids when I eventually have them, on whether they can even have a phone or an iPad or access to the internet. And since learning the lessons that I've learned in my young life, getting off social media has been by far the best thing that I've ever done personally. So I would want to set my kids up with that advantage from the start. And you've seen here from this example just what a massive impact it can have on people, especially developing young people, being addicted to social media and the internet. So that's pretty much it for today. Bit of a more sad example here, but it just needs to be said. It needs to be pointed out. We need to draw attention to this massive problem because it's only going to get worse as the generations move forward, the internet becomes more AI driven. Who knows what kind of stuff kids could be getting up to on the internet. So yeah, we need to point stuff out like this, even if it does seem a bit more dark, but that's the reality. Social media and internet addiction truly has real life consequences. And this kid, unfortunately, will probably grow up to have a very tough life and could get into addiction and drugs and maybe worse things than that. Okay, I'm eager to hear what your thoughts are on this. What do you think? Would you allow your kids to have unlimited access to the Wi-Fi? Would you moderate them on it, or would you just not let them have it at all? And at what age would you actually consider, if you have kids or if you're gonna have kids, what age would you consider even letting them have access to something like YouTube or Instagram? I'm just eager to hear what you guys think. Okay, bro, thank you so much for watching this video. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.